right, we're about to get.
So this was Agent's video. I did a vlog on his a recap on his first one last year. I felt like it was really good. So we're about to see what's going on this year to see how what steps that's needed to, you know, improve on what you're doing. I really like, honestly, I think Agent is. Oh yeah. I was tired this weekend. It was a long weekend for me. That's the reason why I wasn't online. But Agent is really I think Agent is like actually one of the best, like one of the top best streamers. And I think that he knows his stuff. He does it really well. He does like a lot of variety of nah, it's no problem, man. It was just like I was going out and I was tired. But Agent does a lot of different types of streams. So he's kind of not in a niche, I would say. And I personally don't want to be in a niche myself. So I want to be able to have the ability to do everything and anything that I want. I'm just like I would say that. Like that's just my personality. Not to just be stuck in one niche, because sometimes like being stuck in a niche is just like, all right, cool, you're just limited to that thing. But he does a little bit of everything, so which is like I like a lot. And but we're about to go watch this and just give our also recap of our thoughts and stuff like that, because I've kind of improved and I've kind of made I've sat down and made a schedule of things that I want to do moving forward. I think having a schedule just makes everything better. Yeah, I'll definitely once I'm done streaming, I'll hit you. All right, let's see.
Started. Hope you guys learned something today. So, do we have any new streamers here today? Okay, good. Do we have any seasoned experienced streamers here today? Nice. All right, so I'm gonna talk a lot about money. And so usually what I do, last year what I did and what I kind of did in the last class as well, is talk a little bit about ad revenue, brand deals, things of that nature. And those are all relevant, all important, but those are all short term. You know, you do a brand deal today, you know, this is your brand deal for today. You know, you might get another one if you build relationships, but beyond that, we're gonna talk a lot about what your future as a content creator looks like. Does anybody in the room right now own a business?
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Production company? Okay. A clothing brand. Yusuf? Okay, doesn't know.
I'm starting a brand.
Starting a brand. What's that, Flugger? What's up, man? I'm mic'd up.
Keep in mind, it's alright if you're mic'd up. Keep in mind that everybody have a lunch happening right now.
Yeah. We do an hour, they have an hour after. Okay. Yeah, you go. All right. Surprise, all you guys have a business. Streaming is 100% a business. And the sooner you treat it like one, the better you'll be able to take advantage of its opportunities. I know business kind of has some connotation like it's all about making money, but it's not. Sometimes it could be about impacting people. There's plenty of nonprofit businesses, their goal is not to make money, right? Your business goal objective can be either to what? Entertain, inform. Entertain, inform. If you're streaming, you're either entertaining or you're informing. So today, this is the informing. I don't do this part too often, but I'm gonna walk you through what it's like to grow a business. We're gonna talk a little bit about, I'm gonna pocket watch somebody else's business. Then we're gonna get into tone. We'll talk a little bit about AMP. I'm gonna give you a prospective business that I'm probably gonna start in the next year. And then while I'm doing that, I really want you to think about what you may be interested in. And what the common answers might be is like a brand, maybe some clothing, but think outside the box. It could be whatever your interests are. And just to kind of get the ball rolling, I love racing. For me, racing is super fun. I just learned that this is a passion of mine for the past 2 years. And so as I'm getting more into it.
Well, I would say like, I mean, Agent always talks about, he's a car guy. So he's gonna spend a lot of money on his car. Like he don't care about all the extra stuff and the fact that he knows he can do it, but it's just the car thing that I've watched a couple of his streams, his vlogs and stuff like that. So he's more of a car guy, you know what I'm saying?
I was trying to think about ways to monetize that. So I love energy drinks. I drink 12 a day if I need to. And so my brain thinks, well, 12 is an exaggeration, I saw your eyes. My brain thinks if I love energy drinks, maybe there's a way I could build a business around the thing that I like. Find something you really like, keep it in your mind. It could be a couple things. It could be running. Maybe you love endurance running. It could be editing. Maybe you're a huge editor. Maybe strategically, you love thinking of the business strategy side of things. Whatever it is, just keep it in the back of your mind, because as I talk through some of these concepts, I want you to try and relate it to how it's going to apply to you.
I built this website in 5 minutes with Wix.
I feel like I need to
What if
get YouTube Premium.
Oh, the wrong slide. Sorry. Yeah, that was a different talk. I would like to start by saying you don't own nothing. You don't own YouTube. You don't own Twitch. You don't own Instagram. You don't own TikTok. Who here has been a victim of being banned on a platform you don't know why?
I knew why I got banned on Twitch.
Right?
But I didn't know. That was like my first couple streams and stuff like that. I did not even know that you can't do that.
I want to illustrate to the people that this hasn't happened to yet, sometimes it can be really scary because if it's your job, it kind of feels like your livelihood was just stolen. And I've had this moment a long time ago, and it scared me straight. Sometimes this is something you just had to, put your hand on the stove and learn the hard way. But I'm hoping you just heed to advice and you learn some of these lessons before this happens. In 2020, January, they changed the rules on YouTube, okay? They didn't want people advertising to kids no more. And people were finding workarounds to do it, toothpaste companies, stuff like that. This is an analytic I just took from a YouTube video of a family channel this year. They got 2 million views. In the year, they only made $959. Damn. This same channel, pre-2020, is making almost $100,000 on the same views. All it took was a simple policy change. YouTube didn't like that type of content no more. They didn't want people to advertise that type of content. YouTube Kids exist. They rerouted it. So what I'm trying to say is they didn't own YouTube. They don't own this platform.
It's all about pivoting, like I said before. It's all about pivoting, knowing how to pivot and knowing when to pivot.
Therefore, they were vulnerable and something changed and it rocked their livelihoods. If this was their job, they are now putting fries in the bag. And what the reality is, the streaming stuff is not forever. Like if you think about your favorite streamers, they come and go. Sometimes they last a year, sometimes they last 5 years, 10 years. You have to be realistic. Just because you're doing well now doesn't mean next year's gonna be better. You could be giving belt, you could be doing all the right things, but it doesn't mean it's gonna work out for you, right? There's a lot of people that didn't make it to Stream University. It's not because they didn't deserve it. So there's a lot that's not in your control. Today we're gonna talk about some of the long-term things that are all in your control, and I'm hoping that it's gonna be a little bit helpful to you guys. As I'm talking, you might be asking the big question, hopefully. Maybe I should own something, right? You don't own your channels, maybe I should own something, and that's precisely why we started A&P in 2019.
Ownership is everything. Ownership is everything. And I totally agree with that. And I think a lot of people get frustrated that, if you don't own these things, man, it's just a tool to allow you to get to ownership. And that's the mindset people should have. Like, these platforms are not here for you. They're here for the people who own it, who created it. You know what I'm saying? The shareholder. But use this tool, these platforms, to create the freedom that you want.
We had a down year. All of A&P pretty much played NBA 2K. There was a really bad down year, and it looked like, damn, money's down. We're like, yo, it don't matter. Look, question. Let's say, what's like a type of content you like to watch?
IRL.
IRL.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bad example. Anybody like watching a niche example? Yusuf. Okay, let's say you like making noodle videos, and then for some reason there's horrible PR for noodles. People don't fuck with noodles no more. Okay, you're cooked. You could be the most entertaining personality, but you're cooked. This happens a lot to gamers that's attached to a game that people lose interest in, but IRL is a little different because it's kind of no man's land. Honestly, it's a lot harder to go IRL because you're not attached to anything people actually care about. So I'm gonna say something, hopefully it doesn't sound too pseudo, right? What made you guys excited to come to Stream University?
I wanted to learn and better my skills as a creator. I wanted to expand and become the greatest I can ever be.
Okay. Right here?
The exposure. Because I've always been consistent.
Exposure.
But I just kind of started, so the exposure really.
Yugi?
More recognition and new eyes that are brought onto the street.
Okay. Okay, good answers. These are all good answers.
I just want to come to your class and heard what you guys
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Learning how to be uncomfortable.
Learning how to be uncomfortable, challenging yourself. Okay, good. These are all good answers, okay? Streamer University, an example, when we have conversations and we're talking strategy and creative, there's high appeal ideas and there's low appeal ideas, right? You could be the most entertaining person, but no one's gonna stick with a low appeal idea. The idea just has to be something that's really packaged well. Streamer University is this, like, the thought of learning being content is crazy on the internet. Like, as entertaining content, but everybody's excited to be here. Streamer University is an example of a very high appeal idea. I don't want to get too.
I think schools are now going to kind of incorporate this type of class or thing to, I feel like that's going to be the next step for colleges. It's like they're going to have like they had the media class, like the radio class, like when you go to college, they got like the radio class. But I feel like now they're going to kind of, because people didn't bring, I feel like back in the day, it wasn't that much value wasn't brought to it. But now with content, you can create a specific type of content that could change people's mind or gauge people to a specific product now. So I feel like colleges are going to continue, colleges, businesses, everything's going to continue to do that, but just double it up even more now after seeing Streamer U. I feel like they see the success of it, so they're just gonna like, oh, let's try to emulate it.
Pseudo, but just keep that in mind, right? There's a lot that's not within your control. There is a lot that's within your control. You control what you can, and you ignore the rest. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a case example. So there's a YouTube channel. This is Ryan Trahan's channel. I put up his stats, okay? In the last month, he got 35 million long form views. He got 44 million short form views. And you can look at the subscribers over there as well. He's cooking, right? This is actually a down month for him, I'll be honest. And if you take a look at those stats, he's making approximately $345,000 in long form, okay? I'm probably off by like 20,000 here or there, but he's making a good amount based on the length of his videos and the ads that he runs, which is very healthy. He's one of the biggest YouTubers. He's making about $50,000 on short form. It's not the money he's making on short form. It's kind of like the views and the attention he's getting on short form that's also being funneled into his long form. When you're a streamer, think about the content you make. Like, people have to see you. You know what I'm saying? People seeing you is currency. Just because you haven't made $1 from a clip doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. You feel me? Because if people see your face enough times, next time they're introduced to you, you have a little bit more influence over their decisions. And their decision could be something as simple as showing up to your stream. You know what I'm saying? When you have a brand deal, it could be as simple as supporting the brand. When you have an event, it could be as simple as buying tickets. The more people see your face, the more likable you are, the more people you're doing things that provide value, the better received it will be. Let's keep going money-wise. You total both of those. He made approximately $400,000 a month. Who here thinks that's bad money? It's phenomenal money. This actually is where a lot
400K? Sheesh.
of people stop. They made the good money, and they don't see anything past that because they don't actually have a long-term vision. This is short-term. This is the money he made this month. Money's higher one month, money's lower next month. Views are higher one month, views are lower next month. If you're always playing day to day, you won't make a singular decision for the future. You get what I'm saying? That's a pretty penny, bro. $5 million a year. I think he has a team of like 3 people. His ideas don't cost a ton of money if you guys watch his channel. So like, he's probably profiting a good amount. But let's think about long term. So I'm gonna give a handful of examples just because in your head you might be thinking, oh, I can't do that because I'm not a rich YouTuber. He started a candy company called Joyride. He got in Target, and now he's in a bunch of other retailers. And for him, as much as he enjoys making content, you could feel that passion in his videos. He saw a future where he thought he could make a ton of money doing something that he really cared about and doing it in a way where he's using his audience to promote this business. So He's in 5 different retailers: Target, Kroger. This kind of sounds like an ad for him, but it's not. It's just you have to understand the context. The more retailers in your reach, especially as a candy business, is exponentially higher. So I did some quick math. Approximately, a candy business of his stature is making around $50 million in annual revenue. Okay, this is a business that's about 2 years old. You know, and businesses, they grow exponentially. Like if you grow them properly, they grow exponentially.
All he has to do is wait for Coca-Cola or any of these companies just to buy up that thing. Oh my God, it's a crazy amount. And you don't even have to sell the whole thing. You could just honestly just sell a part of it and still retain equity.
Now, he doesn't put $50 million in his pocket because he has 20 to 40% margins. Let's say he's on the lower end because maybe the Skittles and some of the big candy companies are on the higher end of margins because they have so much scale. Let's say he has just 20%. He made $10 million of profit in the last year from his business. 10 million, that's double all the money he made on his YouTube channel. But even that, to me, is a little too short term. That's money he's making this year. It's not that it's not great money. It's not that it won't time, but that's just money he's making this year. And so you can see here, this is just the profit. So I'm putting them side by side so you can get a sense of what people think he's making his money off of and what he's most realistically making his money off of. And this is not just a Ryan Trahan thing. You could apply it to plenty of content creators nowadays, like, you know, the KSI Logan Paul's got the Prime. You know, I think Jake Paul has a business. Everybody got business. Yusuf, what's up?
Okay, as a professor, since you're on in front of us, how much do you make a year?
You're going to have to pocket watch me, my boy. Good try, champ. You can't sell content, but you can sell businesses. I mean, you could sell a stream. Maybe you get a brand deal, right? But you could sell a business, dude. And I'm going to share knowledge with you. All the business people watching this is going to seem like common knowledge that everybody understands. But people that's not in the business world truly do not understand the scale of opportunity. And those people would die to be in a position where they have an audience that fucks with them the way your audience fucks with you. These brands have to try and convince people to buy their product. That's facts. You're not selling nobody anything. You're just being yourself. People already like you. So as long as the thing you're making, your service you're creating, the product you have is something you truly believe in, then you will have no problem translating that energy and your fans will have no problem supporting that. Because I'm telling you this one thing, when people really like you, they show it. They support it.
That
so you
is
don't want
true.
to just get eyeballs. You want to get eyeballs from people that actually with you because that looks very different. Not just financially, but just experience. Like you live in life, bro. You meet these people in real life. You don't want to meet people and have negative interactions. You want to walk around and have positive interactions. And so let's get into a little bit about selling businesses, which doesn't sound like a Stream University thing. But again, I want to remind you, all you guys are running businesses, bro. Every single one of you. And this is not a metaphor. You literally are running a business. You literally have to pay that tax. So I hope you're doing that.
You're finally locked in on an edit. Then you realize you don't even have the footage, you're out of credits, and you're not.
Okay, good.
That's one thing a lot of people get in trouble with. It's just paying them taxes, man. Them taxes will get you. Those taxes will get you, man.
All right. Now let's get into, I don't know who that is. Let's get into the average candy sales for a business. So we established that he's approximately making $50 million gross, which means over the course of a year, he's making $50 million in that business, revenue-wise, right? So usually when you sell a business, there's a multiple. So if I'm selling Ryan Trahan's business that makes $50 million a year, it's worth 5 times that amount on average. You can negotiate that, which is $250 million. This is the number you usually see when you look at a Forbes list and they say someone's a billionaire. It's the net worth. So it's the stuff that they own, but it technically isn't worth anything till you sell it. So his business makes $50 million a year, which is already amazing, but look how much it's worth. That's $250 million. Now, realistically, he doesn't own the whole thing. He owns a big portion of it, probably a controlling share, so he can make all the decisions. So there's no.
That's the most important thing. When you have a business, I learned this in business school, never give them, always have the majority of equity in whatever you do in life. Even if it's you 55% and the rest is whatever, because you want to be able to make the decisions and nobody can tell you what the hell to do.
I mean, we've probably heard some horror stories of people that let in suits and then they took over the business and they ruined it by trying to milk it for profits.
Oh yeah, that's what they did to Steve Jobs. I don't think he owned it, but I think they kicked him out, and that's when Apple was tanking stuff. So history's there. It's there. You can always do your research.
You want to try and maintain control. That's one thing we genuinely believe in at A&P. You give that away and you lost your creativity, you lost your sauce as a content creator. So let's say he owns half of this. That means he owns a business worth $125 million. That's what he puts in his pocket. That's technically what he owns to the government. That's $125 million. Now, to make that same 125, now let's say he sells the business, right? Let's say he grows the business to this point and he sells it to, I don't know, the Mars company. All right, they make chocolates and candies and stuff like that. It would take him 25 years of making content today and every day till he's about 50 to make the money he can make in 3 years just growing a business he truly cared about. So, and I know not everybody here is really money hungry, but I really want you to understand money hungry people, they're just greedy bastards, okay? We're not focused on them. Money is the thing that makes your dreams possible. It's not just the thing you could do to buy a nice fancy house. Maybe you want to do something nice for your mom. You have ideas in your brain. Completely neglecting the business side because you're only focused on creative, you're putting yourself in a situation where you're eventually not going to be able to afford some of the brilliant ideas you have in your mind. Stream University is a crazy idea. I imagine it costs millions of dollars. He rented an entire campus, bro. He rigged it with his own internet. Like, it's not cheap to do some of these things. And as much as you want to get brands involved to help subsidize the cost, realistically, when you own a business, the upside is all yours. So if you ever heard people talking about equity, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about actually owning something of value. And it almost sounds like this can't be you. On God, it can. There's no reason why this cannot be you. There's genuinely no reason. Don't let anybody make you believe because this number feels like it has a lot of zeros that you're not capable of growing that, right? Running a business is like anything else. It's a skill. Being entertaining, that's a skill. Being funny is a skill. Editing is a skill. This is just something that you're gonna have to work on. The more you work on it, the more capable you are, and the more you'll be able to maximize your content and your audience. And congratulations, you guys are streamers, so you have a buff. The average company has to spend 20% of the money they make on marketing. They got to promote it. There are some companies like Tesla that are famous for not doing any marketing. Like, you won't see ads for Tesla ever. But then there's the opposite. I see a Kia ad everywhere I go. You walk in the airport, there's a Kia. You watch.
Yeah, there's certain companies, they don't even need to add because they're just that good. That's it. Like, even like, you'll never see a Lamborghini and Ferraris. Not everybody has that ability to do that, but some they do.
The NBA game.
But as a streamer, you kind of have to use TikTok, Reel, Shorts, all to promote yourself.
There's a Kia. There's some companies that have to max spend to get in front of people. There's some that don't have to spend at all. Congratulations, your business is one where you genuinely might not have to spend at all. You might not have to spend any in marketing because your audience is the marketing. It is. And I'm telling you, so let me tell you a quick story. When we started Tone, we flew to Minnesota to go to Target office, and we had talked to them. And they were just, first of all, they were enamored by the whole concept of content creators creating a business. We came in there, we had a fire presentation, we prepared everything, and they loved it. And one of the main points that we can point to them and say is like, we don't have to spend a ton of our money trying to push this product. Because, you know, when they put it up on these shelves, they want to know that people understand what it is. And so just by nature of putting our faces on there, I mean, if you guys ever walked in Target, you've seen like Duke's face on one of the Sense Hotel. But that is a serious buff, and you all have that buff, regardless of how big or small of a streamer you are. As you're growing, you need to be thinking about ways you can utilize this buff to try and maximize some money. This is an example of a couple businesses that more famously have used social media. So look, I'm gonna tell you this. Every business is now doing social media content. Facts or not? They have TikTok.
See, this is what I said, and I didn't even like, I never watched this video at all. This is like, honestly, my first time watching it. Just like I said, every business is, honestly a psyche to it. Like when I was in psychology class, like it's there's sometimes if you put this shoe in front of you enough times, your brain will automatically say, and if you put that shoe in the right person's foot, and you consistently see it, it's going to make you want to buy the shoe. And you may not even need it or want it, but just because you see it that much is going to make you want to buy it.
Accounts, they're trying to seem hip. They're hiring people like newly graduates to try and make hit tweets and stuff like that, like in 2020 or whatever when the chicken sandwich is coming out. Even Red Bull, like they kind of sell energy drinks. They really just make cool videos, bro. Most of the time you see Red Bull, it's not because you're drinking the energy drink. This is technically their product, but you're realistically, they have encapsulated the idea of using content to promote their brand, right? When I see Red Bull, it's F1. When I see Red Bull, they own like 4 football clubs, bro. And so like as much as they do sell energy drinks, because of the power of their content, I mean, that's at 76 million views. That's a type of number that most brands will never achieve. You have to really understand content. The thing is, y'all are here, y'all are in the bubble, you understand content. This is your passion, you understand content. You're in a weird position where the people with money wanna be like you. If you talk to them, I'm telling you, I was at an NBA event, and I bumped into this guy. He was probably my age. Maybe he was a little bit younger. And he said, Agent, I love your videos. I want you to introduce you to my mom. His mom was some vice president, something of Coca-Cola. So it's weird. You don't think the people with money are your audience, but they have kids that watch, 1. And then 2, if they're in the know, they are in the know. That's just factually true. I don't think there's a business that doesn't know who Kai Cenat is. But it doesn't stop at Kai Cenat. I think building relationships, putting yourself in front of people, reaching out, making the effort is all part of that. But again, I really want to employ, like, you could get a Wendy's brand deal, but it's just better to own Wendy's, bro. It's just better. It's just better. And you just have to, once you start, you'll be like, damn, I should have started earlier. Once you start, you'll be like, wow, I waited way too long. And you have a little bit of what ifs about it, but today is probably the best day to start thinking about it. And I'm gonna walk you through some of how I'm planning on doing that myself. So a little bit about Tone. I'm gonna explain to you how we started Tone. We started Tone with money. Then I'm gonna explain to you how I'm gonna start a business without money, so you guys get a concept of how that works, okay? So first of all, it costs a couple $1 million to start. Very expensive to create a product brand new. And then to test the product a bunch, we had to hire a CEO. The process was very arduous. First thing we did, we went to a conference room. We chopped it up. We came up with the ideas of things we were passionate about. You know, I shot out some ideas like maybe an energy drink. You know, Phantom shot out an idea, maybe some food. People shot out some ideas, right? What we landed on was something personal care, something we all believed in. You want to smell good, look good, be your best. You feel me? And so once we landed on that, okay, what products do we need? Actually, we hired a CEO in this stage too, because he's going to be the one that actually creates the product, stuff like that. You want to do the packaging. So we ended up doing the packaging. We had a bunch of meetings about what it was going to look like, how it was going to.
You see, that's it's like when you're doing all these things, like I did a package for Lexicon hats. It's so many steps one person is doing. It's not to say like it's not possible, but when you're one person doing that, that is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's great. I love to see people like when they have like a group of friends or a group of people who just understand like, all right, this is the goal. We're going to create this. We're going to grow it. And then we're just going to expand so everybody could do it. So it's just like, that's another reason why I pivoted and it was like, you know what, let me close the website down for right now and just like, you know, focus more on the content stuff because it's easier to manage. It's just like, you know, I don't need like a lot of people to do this. I just need the time and I could just pull up my laptop and just like sit down, edit a video real quick or boom, pull out my phone and just edit. So this is a lot right here to just the packaging. You have to think how you want it. You have to test it out. You have to make sure if the pictures or the font is correct, how you want it, you know?
Feel what, like the vibe of it, what would the colors be? How do we want it to look when it's on the shelves and stuff like that? And then we tested. The amount of testing we did, I couldn't even explain it to you. We were in rooms, nonstop, smelling things. What's this scent? Is it gonna be like that? What's the form factor? How's it gonna look? Is it a strong scent? How's it like? And we tested and tested and tested and wrote it down and jotted it down. Not just us, but we got other people to test them too to get different opinions. We actually have some test samples. I think Marcus might be one of the only people that still has it because it was very rare. But this whole process, I'm telling you, it took maybe 8 to 10 months of just testing, hiring, perfecting the process because we didn't want to come up with something mid. Then we did it. We launched it. We launched it direct to consumer, which means we sold it on Tone.shop. And we weren't on retailers at the time, but once retailers heard how well day one went, it didn't take too long before we were in Target. Immediately planned the meeting with Target, and once we had Target, we were exclusive in Target for a little while. We crushed in Target. In fact, they were impressed that we started and it went up. Usually people try the product and then it kind of goes down. But they were impressed how many return customers were pulling up. And the thing is, once you do well in Target, the other retailers actually get that data, and now they want to have conversations. And so while it took a couple $1 million to start, and then we lost money in the first year, we're at the point where we could potentially break even this year, but we're most likely going to make money next year. So it feels a little crazy to think, but we don't see nothing from it. I know the number says potentially $30 million in revenue, but we're buying lots of inventory, we're figuring out packaging. I don't know, the tariffs hit us, and then it's like, damn. But look.
You see, and that's another thing too, right? When you're coming out with a business, people don't understand, right? When you're coming out with a business, it takes a long time to profit from the business. And a lot of times people see, okay, cool, you're coming out with a business, you're making money. No, you have whatever you make, it's a reinvestment until the business. It's like, I'm going to break it down to you like this. It's like, first, a baby's going to get up. They're going to attempt to walk. Okay, cool. They're going to fall down. That's like failure or not going as right. Then they're going to get up again and they're going to take one foot. Okay, now you're seeing like a flow in it. And then you're going to see another. Then soon it's going to start walking. And then you're like, oh, wow. Like, I couldn't believe. I'm so excited. And it's the same thing as when it comes to business. So it's just like, I totally agree and understand his point of view.
Like most of it is made in America, so we didn't have to worry too much about it, but it's like there is so many factors and all of it is a skill. So at a high level for the big content creators, this is essentially how you would start a business if you had the money to afford making one yourself. But I'm gonna give you an example of how we're gonna do it. And that's going to be with the help of Shopify. So Shopify have been very gracious. So I wasn't trolling. If you guys watched my last class, I reached out to every brand. I said, we want people that's willing to help some of the streamers here today. We're talking business. Are you interested? They say yes. They said, what would the students need the most? What would you guys say you've struggled with the most here so far today? Okay, that's.
And it just lagged.
Perfect, because we will be giving away 2 TVU backpacks today, courtesy of Shopify.
Websites your competitors don't want you to know, part 2. All you do is go to this website, and it lets you find out exactly how much your competitors are making. By showing.
I need it! This is Brenton. This is not mine. This is Brenton. This is Brenton.
I didn't even know you could rent out a TV.
So what we'll do is we'll pick at the end of the class. I don't have a format, but you know what I'm saying, I might let my chat pick. We'll see how it goes, okay? All right, so huge shout out to Shopify. And if you guys don't know how Shopify works, it's basically all back end. If you want to run your business, they literally have everything you need to make it happen, whether you're selling tickets to an event or, in this case, starting a racing company, which I'm going to be trying my best to do. So if you're interested in building businesses, I mean, you need a place.
Shopify is super easy to edit, like, and create your website. That's what I use as well too. And of course, they're very helpful, easier. They respond back and stuff like that. So simple. Anybody can do it. A lot of companies, actually, a lot of smaller companies use Shopify
To do it, and Shopify is, in my opinion, the best place to do it. And that's what I'm doing. So I honestly didn't want to make this talk, I'll be honest with you, but this is just the best way to explain how you can start a business with less money. Because my racing business is not going to start with a couple million. I'm gonna be honest, individually, I can't afford that. I'm spending my money on content right now. I can't spend my money on something that is currently a hobby. But I'm gonna walk you guys through it so you guys can see what it could potentially look like. Okay, so when you have a business, you need some sort of edge, okay? It needs to be something that's better than all the products that's out there. Luckily for me, I'm a streamer buff. Most people that get into racing, race cars, it's expensive. Sometimes it could cost up to $1-2 million depending on what you're racing in. Even on the cheapest end, it's like $50,000 a year, like to get in the cheapest possible thing. It is just simply expensive. The only way people support it is by brand support. But here's the thing. I'm not interested in just brand deals. I want to own it. So as much work as it might be, I'd rather own my own racing team. So I decided that. I made that decision earlier this year. I love this thing. Like when I get too stressed and I'm streaming, bro, I delete life for a day. I go to the track and I just zen out. You need that zen out. If you went to Lizzo's class, all about self-love, she was talking a little bit about that as well. And so when we want to talk about growing and building businesses, you want to talk about you want to start brainstorming different ways I can make money. Okay, well, the obvious way is people love racing attire. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's something a way they could use to support the brand, potentially. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it looks like to set up on Shopify. No troll, took an hour to set all this up, which is a little miraculous, but boom. So if people want some, they can have it. Oh, I didn't mention, Tone is also use Shopify to run the whole process. So Tone and Shopify are like this.
Wait, you said it's what?
We're like this. Yeah. They shown us a lot of support, which we appreciate. Okay, boom. I'm gonna walk you through the steps one by one. Okay. The first thing you want to do is the concept and the branding. All right. I've been talking for a little while. I want to shoot some questions out. Actually, before we do, I want y'all to chop it up with each other. Find someone in the class and talk a little bit about a business that you are interested in creating. I don't care how crazy it sounds. You would want to go to space if you want to, and that's your business. Come up with something that you're really passionate about. I'll give you guys 2 minutes. What's going on here?
Come talk to people, ask some questions about what they're having a hard time hearing without the mic.
Who, chat?
Yeah, chat.
They can't hear with this?
They can't hear the audience.
Oh, I'll try and repeat the questions. That's on me. All right. You good? Yeah. It's going smoother than I thought. I assume the worst usually. Chat, it's too pseudo right now, or you think it's helpful? I feel like this is stuff big streamers think about and little streamers wait too long to think about. Oh, they actually said the audience is loud. I don't know how true that is. I have no idea. We might let chat pay. Dead ass. Chat, look around. You know what I'm saying? We're going to ask some questions, stuff like that, so you guys can get a good.
I forgot my portable in my room.
Okay.
And then I was supposed to talk to Kai at 1:45.
That's fine. Yeah, you can head out.
Okay, I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. Shout out Shopify. I said 2 TVU bags and they didn't blink. I almost asked for 3. You have anything in mind?
I wish I was able to get to Streaming University and get a TVU bag.
I was saying, my name is Amber, but my nickname is Coco. So I was thinking about like coming up with like my own brand of like cocoa butter and just
Okay, nice.
products and stuff like that.
Self-care.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Stuff like that, yeah. And then probably get into like maybe fashion and stuff earlier. But,
Okay, good.
I mean, not earlier, later on, but I just have different little ideas.
That's good. The more the better, honestly. You have options that way.
Yeah, I just have to figure out like, I mean, I know it's not like a super long class, but I do need like advice on like how to start it up and just like the streaming and stuff.
We could chop it up right after we get done. I could talk a little more specific. I think that's the next one after this one. Yeah. Of course. All right. Okay.
Builders. It's not our job title. It's a mindset. Space 44.
Hold it down. So I'm gonna ask some of you guys. Let's go around. Raise your hand if you guys want to share a business idea. It don't matter how silly or how serious you want to be about it. Just something that you're passionate about.
I really want to create a loungewear brand.
Okay.
Like really comfy and cutesy pajamas, like for women and like families. Yes,
That's amazing. Yes.
I would want to make a brand called Calico Cup Pants because whenever everyone goes to the bathroom, sometimes you pee a little bit on your pants and you're embarrassed, but if you tell them that, oh no, it's just Calico Cup Pants, it looks like I peed, but it's just a brand, it's a thing, people won't assume that you peed your pants while.
But it'll look like you did.
But it'll look like you did, and it's going to be like Supreme type shit where it's
Supreme, all right. You know, that's a good idea. Right.
So I'm like tech savvy, and I also really like coffee and caffeine, and I drink a lot of energy drinks too. So I was thinking like maybe like
W her for being
make a,
tech savvy.
Nice looking like coffee maker.
Okay.
Something that's like.
But that's really unique. I like that.
That's one thing. A lot of women, well, some women don't like the technical stuff, but they will get technical when they want to find out if you cheating on them, though.
That simple though. You love coffee. It doesn't sound like something that you can make money off of, but why can't you start a coffee business? That's amazing. Okay, so naming and branding, these are all kind of subjective. I will say the main thing when we were talking about creating tone was we wanted to have it be like something, yo, pass me that tone. It had to be something you could say. We weren't gonna say, pass me that A&P beauty, you know? We weren't gonna, it has to be something that rolls off the tongue, bro. And so that was, we had no troll, I think we went through 100 names. And it was like a March Madness bracket. And we got it down. That's how seriously you have to take this. We did the same thing when we started A&P. We went to freelancer.com and we put up a post, we said $2,000 for logo, and no troll, like 20,000 people responded. It was, I forgot what it was, but we were there in Discord. It was a 3-day event. Narrowing it down. We were all fried by the end of it. But that's how seriously we took this. Because once you decide this, it's kind of hard to change.
Okay, like actual question. When y'all did stuff with the brand, like I know y'all don't have a lot of time for a lot of things. Did you guys actually do like all of the stuff? Did you have assistants and people?
So with Tone, we were making all the high level decisions. So we would meet in a room pretty much like once a month. And it would be like a full day thing where we would essentially talk to, at the time, he's still our CEO. He's our CEO. But the first thing we did was hire him. So we actually sat in it's a very scary call. These CEOs are scary people. They're like sharks, bro. And they demand crazy things. Like, you have no idea how good they are at negotiating. They can convince you you're about to die tomorrow. They're very, very good. But we went with the guy that we trusted the most. There were people that had crazier like resumes and stuff like that. We worked in this business, that business, sold 10 of these businesses. But we just went with the guy we could trust, because at the end of the day, we let you into our business, we're like this now. It's hard to remove someone once you let them into your business. And so if this the guy we're expecting to help run the show behind the scenes, the guy be somebody we trust, you know? But I'll say when you first start, these people cost a lot, like sometimes $500,000, sometimes $2 million a year. So but if you sell the business, you'll think, wow, they probably deserve more. They went crazy. And then you also kind of want to buy a domain, low-key. Like you want to get something that's easy to, you know what I'm saying? And this actually applies to y'all names too. You know what I'm saying? If your name has mad numbers in it, or like, my name is Agent Zero with 2 T's, like it's confusing. Make it as simple as possible. My name is Agent Zero. Oh, okay, 2 zeros? Yeah, I bet. They can search it out.
So I kind of had a question because my business was like, what I wanted was to create like a safe haven for like kids, so that after school programs or like things across just the United States or whatever. And when I grew up, I had after school programs, and it kind of saved my life from just going to the streets or just doing stuff after school that I didn't have any business doing, because I was there for like 5 hours right after school, but it was fun. I wanted to go there. We talked about the Lord, we had fun with each other. It was bonding experiences, and it was free for me. But I want to do that as a business and have that across the world. I don't know how I can make money from that, because what if do I not charge them for it because I didn't have money? That's the reason why.
So the best way to do something like that,
nonprofit.
That's a nonprofit business. That's not a business you should make money from. But what I would always recommend doing is creating an actual business, a profit business, because that's gonna fund your nonprofit. Right. You feel me? So as you know, it just kind of feels like the selfish thing to do a little bit, right? You almost want to help people, not sell them things. But how many times have you needed help and the thing you were missing was money? How hard is it to get money? So to be able to get the money is actually gives you access. What you'll find is once you get the money, you probably will be lacking time. But once you have the money, you can just hire people to help with the nonprofit. Yeah.
Sick of paying for hours you aren't even sure your team actually worked? See this little sticker tag from Connect Team? It's gonna save you.
Okay, so So the website continues. So, I mean, we got our whole website now. I'm creating a big racing company. It's going to be the next mega thing. I got my car on here with all the cool liveries and decals. It's going crazy. I'm really excited. I'm finding different ways to monetize my business here. And honestly, it was as simple as putting a prompt inside. Bro, no troll. I've never had an easier experience building this. We built it at 10 a.m. today. So that's how simple that was. You need no knowledge whatsoever. So the second thing you want to do, and you mentioned this earlier, is you want to incorporate your business. Let me explain a concept just if you've never seen a business before, okay? You are right here, okay? This is you. This is not your business. Your business is, let's call it Twitch LLC, okay? Okay? When you make money doing your business, streaming, you actually, all the money goes here. All of the money goes here. You don't make a dime. You pay yourself a certain salary based on the income you make on your business. So when I say business, I truly mean it's like a separate entity. Like legally, it is a separate entity. Like if that means if your business goes under, you're not personally liable. You just bankrupt. And we see that a lot in business. When Spirit went bankrupt, the owners of Spirit don't have to come out their own pockets. It's just the business went under. So just on a very simple level, you're not your business. You own your business. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. You'll need that. So incorporating is essentially the process of creating that business. So you just get an incorporation lawyer. Genuinely, you can do it yourself if you want to. There's a chance you mess it up if you do it yourself and you don't know what you're doing. So I'd probably recommend getting one. You can do it for as cheap as $500. Sometimes it costs a little bit more depending on the structure of your business. But if you guys are just one person and you own the business, usually it's a very simple process.
Okay. I have a warning for people that do that. Make sure you get someone you trust to help. Because I got an accountant and he did that for me, and I was supposed to get a payroll to myself every month, and I didn't realize until 2 years later I got none of the money and he stole $100,000.
You got Greg? Damn. Wow. 170?
Yeah. You got it back, right? Not yet. I'm in the process.
Okay.
Hey, I'm killing somebody.
Okay, I will say, you actually don't need an accountant to do that. You only need a lawyer to create the company. You can have an accountant to manage the money and stuff like that in it afterwards, but your accountants and lawyers should be people you trust with your life because they can't scam you and you will never know. So it doesn't cost much to do. It's a formality really. But once you incorporate, you can actually head to step 3, create a bank account. You feel me? And this sounds simple, but this is how you'll be moving all your money. So I actually had done both these stages. I did create my LLC, even though I don't plan on using it till probably at some point next year. And I also created my bank accounts. And then you want to put some money in your bank account so they don't close your account, whatever the default is for the bank that you use. But because it's its own entity now, it can own things. It can own assets. If you want, you could assign a house to it. You could assign anything that can be legally owned to your new LLC. And what we're going to do first is create a bank account. Probably open a couple credit cards, invest a little bit of capital, like whatever the default is. For your bank, it could be like $50, could be $1,000, whatever. And then you could also, and then that's gonna help because ideally you want the money going to your account, otherwise your account is gonna be a mess. And all that is help. Shopify has an entire process to help with payments and things of that nature to make that whole process easy as you guys create and sell products on your business. And then the next part is product development. So there's actually 2 ways to do it. The way we did it with Tone is what we call from scratch. This means we was there in the boardroom day 1 figuring this out. But as you'll realize, as you guys grow as streamers, you will actually have opportunities where people will come to you and say, hey, do you want to be the face of our business? We already have a little bit of motion. So I'm not going to use names, but we had something happen a couple months ago where a big energy drink company had asked us if we want to work with them. They already were making like $50 million a year in sales, but they weren't selling to consumers, they were selling to a specific industry. They wanted something consumer facing, so they wanted us to be the face of it. And that's what we call white label. So these are like little opportunities that come. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying, if you're selling something, it has got to be something you really believe in. And usually when you go white label, you don't have as much control over it because it's already owned by a lot of people. They can give you 5% equity, 10%, 20%, 30% equity. If the opportunity makes sense, it's something you care about, it's something you can entertain. But if you can, it comes off as a lot more authentic when you do things from scratch. That's something out of your soul. That's something, every business is a little bit of risk. It's risk you put in time-wise, it's risk you put in money-wise. And so when people feel that, that's what makes them want to support something. Feel me? And then also the product just has to be kind of good.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store preloaded with 20
And here's 2 examples. So MrBeast at first, he did MrBeast Burger, and it was cool.
I wonder if MrBeast Burgers is still doing good. That's,
You know, it was a good idea. I think he was thinking of how fast he could potentially scale it with a bunch of ghost kitchens, and it did fail eventually. This is an idea of something that was white label, but then he learned from that lesson and did something from scratch, where he made that whole chocolate process himself. And even if you didn't like the original Feasible bars, the new ones are fire. But that took a process. His audience originally believed in the idea, bought the products, that gave him enough momentum.
I'm honestly surprised his burgers didn't do well, because like MrBeast is like YouTube GOAT.
To be able to improve the products. All these fields are like super competitive. When you get a big streamer in chocolate, Hershey's doesn't like that. And when we get in self-care, the Doves don't like that. They see you as a threat. But that could be a good thing. That could be a good thing, because those are actually the people that eventually will put an offer on your business. So, you know, when Instagram was bought by Facebook, they saw Instagram as a threat. And so you have 2 options. You either compete with the threat or you buy the threat. So depending on the terms of the arrangement, and you could argue that was the biggest deal of Facebook's career. I think they bought it for $1 billion. It's worth way more than that now. So like, you know, it's business. You know, you never know in hindsight. But this is the difference between white label and then doing something from scratch. And then the next part is the hiring. So you made the business. Now it has bank accounts. It's an official entity. Now you actually have to hire. This actually completely depends on how much money you have, right? When Kai Cenat is starting his clothing brand, he could afford to hire the best. He can get the best people. But if you don't have that type of money, you could actually just run it all yourself, right? And there's lots of examples of that. And I genuinely recommend you start picking the brains of some of these streamers that have businesses, bro. Your Rage has a gym. He owns a commercial gym. That's a whole business, but nobody ever asks him questions about that. You feel me? But you have so much to learn from people that have experienced it. Not just because he owns a business, because he's also a streamer. So he knows what it's like to stream a bunch and then also manage a business. These are people you should learn from. Ray was in here earlier. Ray is a business demon, bro. Like, she's someone I want to pick her brain. She understands it. She's in the right spots. She's good at negotiating. So these are people, if you have them for a second, they just chop it up. Like, yo, I feel like I can learn a lot from you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't mind, you got like 5 minutes. I promise they're not going to send you away. All right? And so like for me, what hiring would look like in my agency racing business is I'd probably hire somebody that could do both operations and sales. So I am anticipating maybe it costs like $80,000 to $100,000 for that role. And then just somebody that could help put the racing team in front of brands, but also can get stuff done. I'm gonna need the car shipped to this place. I'm gonna need to contact this person. I'm gonna need this bill. I need this on this car, whatever. I also wanna film the journey. This is interesting because it kind of depends on how you wanna do it. A good story always wins. I'm gonna give you a good example. Nobody here watched F1 10 years ago, I swear. Like in America, I didn't hear nothing about F1. All they did was drop a good documentary on Netflix, and all of a sudden, people are popping out to Miami to go to the event, Austin go to the event, Vegas got an event.
Nobody cared about F1. I agree with you. That's going to be the new cycle within the, you know, there's like a cycle that happens throughout the whole year where everybody goes to different parts of the, like in the US, like they got All-Star, All-Star Finals. They got the what else? The NFL chip, tennis. Let me see what else. 4th of July, like all the celebrities, they have the same consistent calendar schedule for all of them to be there. So F1 is now the new thing that's added to that.
Well, that's in Europe, but you're right. It's expanding. That's my point. You have no idea how powerful a good story is. You're making a brand, right? What's the story behind that? What makes you want to actually create? Like, what is the story you're going to tell to people that they're going to connect to? So you might not need to know the answer right now, but these are things you should be thinking about, because the better you could communicate it, the more people are going to connect with it. Does that make sense? And then you want to make your first purchase. And for me, I'll probably just get like a simple car, like an agency Miata. So it's simple, but in racing world, like simple is $50,000 Miata. So you got to get the roll cage and all the fire hydrants and safety features and stuff like that. Yeah. You know those little, yeah, it's like whatever. No, it's the Mazda. Yeah. But anyway, besides the point. Bro, I want to be in the track right now. When I was coming here, I hit up Payne because Payne also has an automotive company, and I said, "Yo,
you want that rail cage?" I see he's probably gonna be. I don't know how Atlanta car companies are, like if they have like a lot of things like that. But I could see him going to. I know LA does a lot of those configurations and stuff like that.
Trying to drift? You want to do something? And we almost shipped our cars out here to do some stuff, but we just didn't think we were gonna have time. Yeah, but that's how much I care about it. It's very fun. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just missed the last part where you said make the first purchase.
You don't have, but whatever that purchase looks like for you. For you, it could be like if you're creating a product, it could be getting a test. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to cost some money depending on where you do it from. I will say, if you're struggling to find information, you'll be surprised how useful some of the AI tools are. So I only use AI as a search engine. I literally just use it to search. I didn't know how, what's that?
I said no AI.
Yeah, no, for your creative, bro. You don't want to replace people with it, but you know, if you're using Google, just use Google Gemini. It's going to feed you a better answer. And even if you use Google, it's going to say AI summary, and it's going to give you Gemini. But the point is, like, if you have no idea how to do something, you could Google it. But like, if I don't know a specific racing rule for a specific organization on a specific day, I'm not Googling that no more. I literally just Gemini, and Gemini go through the whole fucking rule book for me, and then tell me what the actual answer is. So, you know, be efficient with your time.
If you're so profitable, why do you sell a course? Well, you know what? Here you go. I don't care. It's all free. I'm giving it away. We have like 6 different courses in here. The same strategies that made me a full-time trader. And we have like 20.
And then you want to create a home for the business. This is actually where Shopify comes in. So you want to create a store if it's something that you're selling, a landing page. When Streamer University was announced, what did Kai post? It was a website, and when you went on there, what did it ask you for? Your email, your information. Now, that's actually a very interesting fact because that's something he owns. He can't get banned from emailing you, but he could get banned from YouTube tomorrow for absolutely no reason. So when you're running a business, you want to try and be on platforms you can control in areas where you can directly reach out to people. And anybody who actually is running business in here knows how powerful of a feature that is. Because you can use social media to amplify your business, create content to supercharge and push your business. It could be the engine. But you want to bring them to a place that you own and control. And you get on here, you can see all the analytics, how long they were on the website, like what they clicked on. Did they put it in the cart? Did they check out? How many people didn't check out? Why didn't they check out? What they bundled it with. This is something you completely control. You get all the analytics. You have all the control over who the actual customer is. Like,
you know what's so interesting about that? Like, I've realized like the most important thing, I think he said it one time in his previous stream, is watching your data, like checking your metrics. Like once you're able to figure out your metrics or what works for you, I think that is like the most important thing. Cause like, for example, for me, when I look at my metrics on YouTube, it's just more guys looking at my content and stuff like that, which makes sense. But yeah, it's just more male focus.
Yugi.
Getting a pause call. Apparently, I'm needed in the main office.
Yeah, you don't have to explain yourself. Yeah, you're good, man. Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you later.
Honestly, isn't that why SMS and email marketing is so important when it comes down to business?
Yeah, I want y'all to like pay attention a little bit. There are people, business people that they'll say like, I'm giving out my number, text my number. It's just something that they own and they can reach out to you. So when people are, like it's weird, when you get in business, you start to see all the business strategies that people are using to sell you something. And it's nothing to be sold, so you're being sold something all the time, man. Every logo you see on here is someone trying to sell you something, make you aware of something, right? So it's nothing to be sold, you just should know when it's happening. But as much as when you're paying attention to it, you can start applying that in your own businesses. So for me, what my business would look like is first I would set a schedule for where I'm gonna be at, where I'm gonna race at for the year. I'd pick them all out. I'm gonna be in Michigan in January, I'm gonna be in Florida in February at this day. I want to have a whole layout so when people get there, they know where I'm going to be at. Why? Because they could support it. They could show up to the event. What that's going to look like for me is people actually support the journey. If people are supporting the journey, not only does that feel good to you, but on top of that, it's good content for sure. And then third, the brands see that and they're like, wow, this is a guy we want to work with. And depending on what your business is, that's going to be incredibly important. For me, it could also be selling some sort of merchandise. That would be like an accessory piece of revenue. But for T-Pains, for example, and Happy Boy Automotive, this is a big part of the revenue stream. They focus a lot on being able to sell these because it helps support the actual business. We talked a little bit about email marketing and then, of course, attracting sponsorships, which are all things that businesses still do. And then once you own a business, you're actually the person that could give people sponsorships, which is interesting because now you're providing opportunities to other people to do the thing that you're also trying to do. And so, yeah, this is what it actually looks like on the website. So everything's right here on the left. So all your products can be over here, all the orders from everybody that ordered something. This, yo, bro, when we first launched Tone, I clicked on this, it was like super overwhelming. We had a counter in the house that broke once it passed 6,000, and we just like left it there because nobody wanted to fix it. But you'll have all the information on your customers, and then you'll get analytics on how to grow it and stuff like that. Again, I cannot stress enough that you do not own these platforms, bro. Don't let it happen to you, because it's happened to some people in this room already, and content's like this. It's not always going to be up, but man, if you make the same mistake twice, you kind of deserve it.
Nah, that's so true. And it's so funny, like when going back to the Shopify, like you always look at my analytics and see like, oh no, the cool thing about Shopify, you can go to the page and you can honestly see everywhere in the world that has looked at your website and the time that they're looking at, how long did they stay. Shopify is like really dope and stuff like that. I mess with it.
I made a mistake once. I didn't know better. I have to make the adjustment next time I get the opportunity. Being able to own the platforms that you're making money on, that you're making content on, is the way you make it 10 years in streaming. Is the way you make it 15 years in streaming. Is the way you elevate to whatever it is you want to do next, right? Kai loves streaming. He said he would never quit streaming. But he also has other loves. He wants to start a fashion company. Boom. He can do that and stream. Here's the thing though. Most fashion companies, most brands, what's the hardest part? What's the hardest part of owning a brand and a fashion company?
The hardest part?
Getting into the right audience.
Can be. It's tough to keep up with the trends sometimes. Oversaturation. Anything else? People think it's cool. And what is that? Marketing. That's marketing. That's marketing. You control what's cool if you own the platform.
Yeah, that was like one of my not the best things for me. I suck at marketing. Like that is not my niche at all. Marketing, I do not do good with that. And I think that's what I need to focus also on the rest of the year, to be able to just to market myself better, because like that's how you get popping, man. Just know how to market and network yourself better.
So anyway, point is, like I guess somebody could have started a fashion business and they don't have an audience. Kai starts a fashion business. It's a lot of people that care about it off the rip.
The hard part is getting people to see your brand and to wear your brand, because there's obviously a lot of competitors.
Correct.
Like for instance, me, something I'm gonna dive into is I'm gonna start building affordable PCs for people who can't afford to hire PCs, because something that I've noticed even with my friends and helping them is they buy really bad computers that can't really
support the stuff they want to do.
Exactly. And even with my story, I started off with shit equipment, right? I wish I had the best of the best of the best. I wish I had a brand that would sell me a high running computer at a low price. And that's honestly my brand. Even when you said document the story, that's my story with the brand I want to start.
Good. You want to keep building that story. Are some of these concepts connecting? I know they're very high level, and you might be listening to this thinking like you're very far away from this point. You're not. I promise you're not. I genuinely promise you're not. As a streamer, it happens like this. Opportunities happen like this. As important as it is to understand the content side so you continue to grow and you want to get your viewership up, you want more people to watch your stuff, it's also important to consider these things. I'm telling you, first of all, being a content creator costs a lot of money. Let's be straight up. Your ideas cost a lot of money, okay? And then people will know who you are. Now you got to worry about privacy, security. Bro, if you're broke and everybody knows you, I mean, life is going to be a little challenging, bro. Life is just, and it's just that's like the least safe way to move around. You're going to want to consider these things. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here. It's not like people here don't want to make money, but I genuinely feel like sometimes money has a bad reputation. Realistically, bro, some of the best things in life happen with money, bro. New cures happen. You got to spend a lot of money to make that happen. Feel me? The best ideas, you want to start a nonprofit, you need money to make that happen. So
I've seen plenty of power banks over my 15 years of reviewing tech, but this Ridge one quickly became a favorite. So this, a 10,000 milliamp hour battery that's already this small, is pretty clutch, but it's also pretty loaded.
What's up? Yeah, bro. Which one you want? Yeah, I got you, bro. You know how to catch? Actually, I don't want to hit you. Yeah, what you need? Yellow? And shout out to Shopify. We're going to go get 2 TVUs here, which I'm a little nervous about. But it's as simple as this. You know what I'm saying? It's as simple as this, bro. You know what I'm saying? You click on different themes and stuff like that to help set up your website, and they do a lot of the work for you. And on here on the side, you got the whole thing. You can give them prompts on make it like this, try it like this, maybe add this color, and it'll all fill for you so that, you know, back in the day, you actually needed to know how to code to do this stuff. Or you just hire somebody and pay them a lot of money. But nowadays, you know, it's as simple as a Shopify subscription. So. Boom, this is what my schedule will look like. I'm at the Grand Prix. Come to my website and take a look. This is what the merchandise looks like. I'm selling a jacket, a shirt, a hat. Do you want to support the business? Boom, this is how you can do it. And then you have to think about the actual rollout. There are some people that are masters of rollouts. You know what I'm saying? There are some artists where it's like you can't miss the rollout. Feel me? Because it gets you so excited for it. When you're starting your business, the rollout has to match the passion you feel for it. Do not just drop a video saying, I started a business, bro. Okay? You have to get people excited about it. And, you know, Kai's really good at it because he has so much appeal, but it happens in different scale all the time. So you want to get your audience really excited about it. And that can mean talking about it for a long time. So this applies to businesses as much as it applies to content. You want to have a good business rollout. Anything you want people to care about, you have to give them a reason to care. It's just that simple. And so if you've been filming the journey, maybe that could be part of some trailer that you do. Maybe you could shoot some sort of documentary or something like that. Maybe you could.
Yeah, I think that rollout is very important, and also keeping the momentum as well too.
Post some content along the way, right? And so for me, I'm shooting behind the scenes. I'm not certain what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I'm gonna put together some masterful YouTube video about like the stage of learning, because it is a hell of a thing to learn and incredibly scary. What's up?
Low-key for rollout, one thing that I actually did observe a couple of months ago, it's my friend, his name is Slim John, he owns a clothing brand. A rollout as far as like interacting with the city, he literally went around downtown and put up posters and put up like secret Easter eggs for people around the city to find, just to build up his pop-up shop, which happened in Wicker Park in Chicago. And it was like successful, and he dropped the trailer and he dropped the movie and he ended up selling out the entire thing.
That's creative though. Exactly. Like, and think about how Kai did it with Stream University, right? Exactly. Right? Kai had you saw the bus on Twitter, now everybody's talking about the bus, where's it gonna be at? Hotel, people getting swarmed. Hey, that was bound to happen. Where's it gonna be at? Feel me? Like, these are not things that happen by accident. He's intentionally doing all this stuff. He is a master of getting you to care about the thing he's doing. So I fully expect him to do something really cool with Vivette, and I fully expect him to do anything with whatever event. I mean, Mafiathon, he had like a billboard in LA, and we're like, whoa, okay, damn, Mafiathon 3 is happening. When's it gonna happen? We don't know the answer. So he spams trailers because he loves to act, but you know that doesn't have to be your thing. It could be whatever you're passionate about. You know what I'm saying? So things to consider. And then the last part, and this part is just and beyond, is the growth. So like once you start the business, you're gonna have to essentially just receive information from your customers and see what's working, what's not working, and make necessary adjustments. If you know certain, like we just created a new scent with Tone. It's the best scent, and it's hitting. But that's something we're gonna lean into now. Feel me? So like, that's not something we could have predicted. You can make some educated guesses, but you don't always know. Business, like content, sometimes you can post a piece of content and you think it's gonna hit and it doesn't hit. And other times it'd be the thing you didn't think was gonna hit went crazy. So, I
would agree on that, because I definitely didn't think that video was gonna go crazy.
As much as you try and understand your audience, you're never gonna be perfect. Misses are natural. We missed SKUs. There were certain SKUs we removed from Target because they weren't selling as well. Then we added some SKUs and they hit. It's literally a process of elimination. We could do all the testing in the world, but you know what I'm saying, everybody got a different nose.
Yeah, you guys are everywhere on my campus, by the way. I stay downtown Chicago. You're in both of the Targets. You're in CVS and Walgreens. I mean, I see your shit everywhere.
That's the goal, man. That's the goal. I would like to talk about risk a little bit because starting a business is risky. I'll be honest with you. I called Tone CEO. I say, yo, what can I talk about? What can I not talk about? And one of the things I asked him was, how do other content businesses usually go? Like content creators that start businesses. He told me most of them fail. Even the ones that start with a lot of money. This is not just a content creator thing. This is every business thing. As sexy as business sounds to put in your bio, most fail. And failure isn't even a negative thing when it comes to business, because if you talk to a serial entrepreneur, they love that. It gets them excited to fail. They start a new business, figure it out. They learned the lessons from the last one. So if you do start something and maybe it doesn't have the launch you wanted it to, that don't necessarily make it a fail. Business is all about learning lessons. Same with content. You got to change the content. You got to make it better. There's a lot of parallels. They work hand in hand, and they work like this. They work like this. You have businesses trying to figure out how to be content creators. Think about how crazy that is. 10 years ago, imagine that. Imagine that. We have businesses trying to be content creators. I got paid to react to a Super Bowl ad this year. You know how crazy that is? I was going to watch it anyway. Like, they just want people to see their stuff. They want people to go and buy their stuff. You have the people. You have the people. And for some of the smaller streamers here, you will be surprised how many brands want to work with micro-influencers. They have a term for it. They even have rooms for it. They have entire teams that work on stuff like this. So don't ever feel like you're too small to make an effort to be in certain rooms. You already talked yourself out of it, which is just this loser mentality. Like, generally, like, if I'm talking to somebody, I could tell they think they're about to lose anyway. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the person that's excited and optimistic and is ready to execute. Because when it comes to business, everybody has ideas. And you probably heard somebody say an idea that you also had that idea. It's just about who can execute it better. And the same actually applies to content. Genuinely. You will have the same idea as mad people in this room. You know what I'm saying? I thought I'm going to do a TikTok before we start. I'm going to do a pass the phone TikTok. I saw 8 people passing phones, bro. I'm like, damn, all right, I'm not going to do a pass the phone TikTok. But it's like everybody had the same idea. You get what I'm saying? It's like who's going to execute it better? So in my head, I thought like, whatever, I'm on everybody else's stuff, so it doesn't really matter that much. But you'll have the same experience in business. You will have people, if yours does well, that will copy yours. And you'll have people that you should be learning from. You should be copying certain things from. When Snapchat came out with stories, Instagram came out with stories. Instagram came out with stories. Twitch came out with stories now. Facebook stories. Everybody got a story to tell. So they're just learning. And the least risky thing you can do sometimes is see what worked and do a better version of it. Okay? So it don't be too good to learn from others. You know what I'm saying? Don't.
It's all about it's like you gotta try everything to see what works for you. You don't have to OD and steal. I know like a lot of people just like straight up steal. I mean, big companies they come up and say it's my shit. But small people, yeah, you don't gotta come up and steal, man.
Steal now, but because business can be vicious. You'll have people that
see. Look what I just said.
Business can be vicious. Be a good person about it, but learn lessons, man. Learn lessons. Whatever you're dealing with, I guarantee you were not the first. There's a blueprint out there. And then the bottom line, stop renting your audience, man. I was in Ludwig's class earlier. He said an interesting fact where he said, you can have 1,000 viewers today, you'll have 1,000 viewers tomorrow, but 50% of the people are different. You know what I'm saying? Like, people aren't here forever. Right? The same way you consume content, just monitor the way you consume content. There's streamers that you love, maybe there's YouTubers that you love, you mess with them, but you might not watch all their content anymore. For whatever reason, maybe you grew out of it, maybe you got busy, maybe you're focused on your own stuff. What's that? Oh, yeah, sorry. And so consider that in the way you consume content. Put yourself in their shoes, right? They might not be here forever. So at the end of the day, the bottom line, you got to entertain and inform, but you could rent the audience, especially if there's a platform like, for example, YouTube, where there's a ton of people on there. You want to execute, you want to be there in front of those people, but you also should own some of it. I really want to drill home how important this is. You will use so many products in your life. You will use skincare products and energy drinks. You're going to use a stand, and there's this TV. Everything here is a business that someone started. The connection that we can't see. Somebody made this roof, and they're a millionaire. We don't know who it is, a secret guy, right? There's a map maker over there. That's the business, bro. He makes maps. We don't know who he is, but he makes $50 million a year making maps. So you have the audience. You actually have done the hard part, and you're interested and passionate about conquering the hard part. The easy part genuinely is finding a way to connect it to your audience. If you're having these thoughts and you're thinking this through, whether it's something you start in 2 months, whether it's something you start a year from now, I'm not planning on starting agency racing until maybe next year at some point. But it's thoughts I was having late last year. You get what I'm saying? And when you think about wanting to do this for a living, who here wants to be here and then not be here next year? Everybody wants longevity. Everybody wants to enjoy this for longer than a year. And if you think about the lifespan of a streamer or a content creator, it's way shorter than you think. it's very hard to stay relevant. And that's why we see so many people farming bad clips. They just do anything to be in front of a camera. So longevity looks like looking.
So you can't have the BS, man. Can't have the cringy stuff, because those stuff don't last forever.
Years into the future, not just looking at the current moment, not just looking at what the stream is like today. You get what I'm saying? Take the same concept for business, actually apply it to content as well. Like, you should have content 2 months in the future that you're excited about. Maybe you're planning. You should have content a year from the future. You don't have to be actively doing stuff for it, but there should be a North Star you're heading towards. And then a business is obviously going to allow you to have a direct relationship, whether it's through email, whether you could text the customer. Like, once you ship a product, you even know where they stay at. You know who they are, what their tendencies are. So if you want to appeal to them, first of all, they're your audience, so you should probably know them pretty well. You should have a sense of like what they're interested in, the type of content they consume, and there's probably going to be a lot of overlap. If they're like anything like you guys are probably pretty similar, but that just means the business is going to be easier to sell to, bro. Right? If I don't know what I'm doing and I'm selling pens, I have a pen business, I have no idea who's buying these pens. Right? But when you have an audience, I mean, have you been in your analytics? They'll tell you how, well, the age, I think people lie about it, I'll be honest. But everything else, like, they'll tell you where they're from, they'll tell you what they're watching on. And if you're paying attention to all those things, you're still on a platform you're renting, but you're learning your audience. But as you know your audience better, you should send them to places where you own that platform. So I think I made the last slide. I had a guest appearance, but he's missing. We're good, Yusuf. What's that?
How do you know that they lie about the age?
The age, because you have to be over a certain age to be on YouTube, so some kids just put, yeah. So, well, we're giving away 2 TVUs. So, I would like to say a huge thank you to Shopify for helping support this, because it goes hand in hand. If you start a business, you're going to have to do it somewhere, and Shopify is the best place to do it. I won't lie to you. I know how much people have been struggling with connection. When it comes to streaming game, you're going to struggle with connection everywhere. Trust me, it's the biggest struggle for every streamer. So if you're experiencing it, don't let it frustrate you. Push through it, come up with solutions, talk to people if you can. And then also, you know what that means? You should get good with tech. He's trying to figure out how it works. So even if you don't know, you should be figuring out how all this stuff works. So that being said, it is time to give away a couple of TVU bags. So the TVU bags will have free data for the rest of Stream University, but then after that, you're gonna have to go. You should probably go to the TVU booth. You know where it is. Yeah. And then they'll help get you sorted and stuff like that. Is there anything else I should say before we get away?
$500 in Shopify cash.
Oh, we also have Shop Cash. Okay, so Shopify has Shop, and you can use Shop Cash to buy anything under the millions of businesses that use Shopify, including things like Tone. So I have everyone that stayed here. I do want to say thank you, because this is technically your lunch period. So you guys really care about learning. So we're gonna tap. So if you guys can, you gotta download the Shop app, right? And then all I have to do is tap your phone, and then you get like, what is it, $500? $500. Boom.
This is just $500, and you have to want later.
Oh, so everybody here gets $500. Ah, okay, cool. I bet. I'm not sure how I'm gonna decide. Let me. What's that? What's that? Oh, okay. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna consult with my my assistants. Yeah. Okay, chat. How we feeling? I think that went pretty well. I'm really happy that they. Oh, I'm here. Flacco. Wheel. Wheel's a little random. Do we have a wheel? I guess we could do it through an app.
We can. A lot of chat would say wheel.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of them would say wheel.
Maybe that's the fairest way to do it, huh?
I think so.
How can we do it where everybody can see it, though, for content? All right, so this is what we about to do, okay? The whole chat was saying wheel, and I think that might be the fairest way to do it. So we're going to create a wheel on here. You're going to put your name on the wheel, and then we're going to spin it twice, and the 2 people it lands on will receive the TVU. Unless you haven't already. If you haven't already, come on, gang.
No, it's rented. It's rented.
Okay. What's that? Frozen? Oh, it's lagging.
It was frozen on the screen.
Yeah.
How?
We've been frozen. Yeah. You just freeze it.
The Wi-Fi goes in.
Oh, it's choppy. Yeah, it's a little. Even with the bag, I'm not gonna lie, it's choppy in this room. Yeah. I appreciate you guys for sticking through it, though.
Can I get a free TVU backpack?
Because I thought, what would they need the most? You know, we gave away a brand deal in the last one, which is fire, because that's good experience and that's good money. But then this is not money. This is like the thing that's gonna help make you money. Feel me? But then a lot of people can't take the risk on actually trying to buy them because they're expensive. I remember I was one of the first streamers in our community to buy one. There was one other that had one, and it felt, even for me, it felt like, damn, I'm doing what? But now that everybody has one, it just feels like the meta. It's like, I don't know, I feel like the more hands it's in, the better, bro. Less connection issues, the more happy you are as a streamer.
That is very true.
Give me a little bit of space.
I think the next thing I might have to get is a hotspot, but I definitely do have like 2 things that I can stream from. I still haven't used the Bella Box yet. Should be using it next. And I also got this other thing, Accent. I think I talked about it before, but I use that for streaming as well. IRL is like connected to the phone and stuff like that, which is pretty cool.
It's because they're typing.
In your bag. It's literally in your bag. I feel like this is like one of the coolest things about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Introduce myself. I'm the Vice President of Marketing at
Oh,
TVU.
nice to meet you.
Thank you for doing this.
No, thank you guys for providing them in last
Great
minute.
job. I've been in 20 years of corporate American experience, and this is
Appreciate it.
the way you broke it down was perfect.
Yeah, because you never know what type of students you get. Some people will probably understand things really well, and it feels like,
No, you made
but
it nice and digestible.
that's good. I appreciate that. Yo, chat. We asked them 2 days ago if they could pull TVUs, and by the way, there's like a month process to even get them. So the fact that they were able to make it happen last minute, things did work out, bro. And we were kind of scrambling. So we'll see how the wheel spin goes. We'll see. What you doing? Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Let's really talk.
Let's talk, man. What you want to talk about?
I need this fucking TVU.
Oh, and I know you need the TVU.
You know I need the TVU.
I think everybody needs it, though.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone does need it. Everyone does
But
need
you
it.
at least rented one for today. You know what I like about you? You actually grind, bro.
Thank you, man.
No cap. Like, Yusuf, you're one of the most, like, you understand content really well. And I've been watching a lot more of your content now that you got in the new house.
Really?
Y'all doing y'all thing, man.
Thank you, bro.
Seriously.
Thank you. Dude, when are we going to do a stream, Agent?
I've been waiting on you. You moved to LA and stuff like that now, so it's just a little bit further away. But I already leaked. I'm gonna be in LA for streamer games, so maybe we could do something then.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do
But
it.
this wheel,
So,
I
no,
can't
it would be so
rig
much
this.
better.
I can't. No.
I'll just put my name 19 times.
That can't happen. It's not a golden ticket, buddy. Yeah, actually, you know what? People were saying your name the most.
Really?
Yeah. I promise.
I really want to see who wins.
Right there, gang. Yeah, look at you being all cynical. For $500 shop cash. Say you swear. Fucking Josh.
Oh, that's fire.
No, because this is for the cash. Yeah. Yo, they gonna hook you up, okay? All right, and this is for the final TVU backpack, courtesy of Shopify.
Come on, Agent, show me something good. If I lose, I'm up my camera.
Please.
Yo, nah. That shit was right there. Oh my God. I would have been so pissed.
Yo, that couldn't have been any closer. Malik, congratulations on your brand new TVU backpack. Yusuf, that was gut-wrenching, bro.
Oh my God. That was insane.
Look how close this is. Yeah, he was. So they're going to set you up over there, okay?
Let's talk right now.
Hey, thank you guys so much for being part of the class. Get lunch. I think it's picture day at 3. I got a moment for questions if you guys care.
Okay, so is there any way I can have some point of contact with you? Because honestly, I want you as a mentor. Like, I really want to keep elevating and keep growing because I really have rooted passion for this shit. Like, I live.
Yeah, we can, absolutely. I won't lie to you. I don't have too much time, but you can grab my number, and then if you ever need something, just text me. If you want advice on something, I'll tell you this. No matter how big or small the content creator that I know, people always call me with advice when it comes to big ideas they have, and I always call people advice when it comes to big ideas I have. Because it's like you're in your brain and you know what you think, but it's nice to get a different perspective. So like if I know I'm gonna do a big marathon, I call like 5 people to see like, yo, what you think about this marathon? What you think about this marathon? So it's good to call people, text people, ask for advice. I feel like you can't have too much of an ego to do that, you know? Exactly. So yeah, you can absolutely grab my number. Please don't leak this though.
No, I got you, I promise you. And honestly, if you have any ideas and you need my brain, I'm there. I'm there because I just love putting shit together.
Somebody in the group chat said, nigga got the number. And then he said W.
SLM, man. SLM, bro. SLM.
Yeah, but hit me up though, bro.
Nah, that's fire, man. That is fire. I feel like that was like one of the most educational class. He talked about more product, which I think is like also always important to just know your product, to just like, you know, have a product that you own that you know you can just scale. You know what I'm saying? And just pivot as well too. Let me see. As well. Tomorrow, the next stream will be watching Ludwig's class, because I definitely feel Ludwig and Agent, they say they had the best class. So I'm honestly looking forward to that.